clowns are still hanging around. What is it now? The clowns are still hanging around. What is it now? What's that, copper? You want us to help little old lady?
You're local law enforcement, aren't you? Helping troubled civilians should fall under your jurisdiction.
Yeah. We'll send someone out. Who is? Wait. It's the pigs, isn't it? God. Poor lady. Don't worry. We'll handle this. I think she got some family in Kurong or something. Bastards left her alone when she got...
Hey, wasn't Everott's B team looking for her the other day? They said something about her, I don't know, finding something?
Yeah, I think you're right, Gene. She have something of yours, pig?
Whatever you do, do not admit to these punks you lost your gun. You will suffer if you do.
No? Well, whatever then, copper.
No. They totally said what it was. What was it? Anyone remember?
I don't remember. I was fucking drunk.
Let me know if you figure it out back there. Now, anything else we can help you with? Auntie LaPlante, we always called her. Something LaPlante.
Marianne, amigo.
Be anything else you wanted to know? Was, like before, just an old lady. Her kids moved away years ago. Never come to visit. Never took her calls.
Us kids? That must have been ages ago. She was better then.
Get wanted to be a cop, you mean? Well, shit. I don't actually know.
No fucking clue. It's gotta be the crazy. Who'd want to be a pig? No, I didn't. Because I'm not fucking stupid, Polizonte.
Yeah, Carl. That's some pretty fucking weird shit to say. The pigs level weird. But whatever gets you through the day. Dunno. She lives by the water. Shit washes up all the time on the beach.
Police paraphernalia doesn't just wash up on the coast, people. It's not like we dump it at night. She bought it, collected it.
No problemo, cop man. We take care of her mentally.
Sure enough, we're the real heroes on these streets.
And that fucking fucker. You're the worst cops in Revachol. I gave you gold.
That fucker wasn't aimed at you. It was at her.
Fucking fuckity fucker. And what did she say then? That it's fine. People are supposed to be like that.
Yes. In fact, I think she thought it was a little funny.
Funny. No good goddamn psycho whore.
Seems like they wanted to give Claudia a second chance to play along. She still didn't.
Alright. All fucking righty then. I guess it's good then. That fuck.
Please try to control yourself in the presence of visitors, Titus.
This is just perfect. Just fucking perfect. Any thoughts on this, lawmen?
You don't have to say everything out loud. Just mix and match.
Nah, I know her. She's just a girl. In over her head.
I knew it. Titus, I knew she was professionally trained by her walk. I told you she was a beauty queen.
Yes, Glenn. I know she's a beauty queen. Everyone.
Sorry.
I already told you. We fucking hanged him.
There's less gusto in his voice now. His men too are growing. The man is slowing down. Looks like a bad blood sugar crash. He can't keep track of all the variables anymore. Who could? It's getting harder and harder to perform one's part in this sordid play. All it takes is a nudge.
Come on, Titus. The stakes are too high here. There will be blood on the streets. The tribunal, remember. I know you're tired. Why don't you just...
You know what? I am tired. I'm tired of you. Next time you see her, tell her Titus said, "Fuck on!" That lying, scamming. We're done. This is over. You understand?
Yeah.
On the floor, beer drips out of the can into a small puddle.
What is this quiet funeral shit? What we need is some beers in us. Bartender, 20 beers for the Dock Workers Union.
Why do we make it 40, huh? Why do we make it 100 beers? You're not loud enough.
100 beers? Now we're talking. Hoppity hop over here, cafeteria manager.
It's you again. What is it?
Convince Titus he's being manipulated. You should know by now. Titus Hardy will never falter. Fat Angus, the powerful guy, Mr. All Muscle. The time has come. Put him in the pressure cooker. Just remember, it's about more than Glacia. It's about these men and Martinez, their district, their responsibility. Fat Angus, just remember, it's about...
Huh?
He'll get it. Go on.
Got it. Kill you because they don't like you. All because...
Bring that up one more time, and you won't get to write that report.
Yes, I understand, Alain. That's your name, right, Alain? You'll kill us. That's what they do in the wild north.
It wasn't that. It wasn't... We didn't hit him, okay?
That's it. That's the weak one. You flushed him out. Now...
Officer, you will be next if you don't shut up.
Firearm. A Glass 08 or a 38 caliber pistol. Either is small enough for you to have missed. He's onto you. He knows what you're trying to do.
We didn't kill him. We didn't even hang him. He was dead when...
Shut up, Angus!
Fatty! Say one more thing to the cops and I'll...
Dennis, stand down, or I'll beat your head in. Theo, take your hand off the belt. This isn't 31. I've got this under control. Angie, where's your goddamn inhaler? You sound like you're dying.
I left it home. I can't get it. I'm too fucked.
Why are you so fucking fat, Angus? Now it's all pointless. Because of you. You wasted my time. I told you, Titus. I told you just give her up.
Lizzie, your help is no longer needed here. Go tell Everard.
Fine. I'll tell him. After a long walk along the coast.
You're in. He's all yours. Questions?
Me too.
The lieutenant gives a smile only you can see. He nods.
You hang the corpse to cover up the real cause of death. What?
We're not sure. Probably a bullet.
So there was a wound. You should try looking for it one more time before you send the body away.
'Cause the girls asked us to. They were in some shit.
Girls plural? There's another girl? 2 of them?
Did she kill him?
Cop, I have no idea. The girl says she didn't. Classier came down. She seemed really out of it. Drugged up, even more than usual. Bug-eyed and gurning, you know? Not in a fun way. It looked like she'd redosed after something went down. I've seen that look before. She was scared. I knew someone had died. I've done this job for 10 years. I've seen it before. It's the politician in the motel room with the dead hooker scenario.
Good analogy, boss.
You don't get to talk yet, Shanky. You're still on the bench. You keep taking it easy, too. We went upstairs. Sure as day, the merc was dead. There was a bullet hole through the window.
He means they'd been fucking?
Tibbs patched the window. And the corpse. We hanged. Nah, he's my brother. He's in the window replacement business.
Tibbs. That's short for...
Yeah. Good man.
Bet their father's name, Atticus Hardy. Lucretia Hardy would be their sister. Anyway.
You may have noticed our girl's in some shit of her own. Yeah, she wouldn't. She's fucked if she shows up on police radar. They're powerful, connected to the moral intern. She's clearly afraid for her life. Says if she showed up...
That's all he knows. That's all she...
And why would you help someone like that? By taking on a murder?
Why would I? I guess we abide all sorts of runaways and losers here. It's a Martinez thing. Not yet. Just some ideas. She says the shot came from outside, behind the window somewhere. So that's a clue. I'm thinking someone's past caught up with them. Either her...
Hers, you mean?
I mean the people after Clausia. Maybe the shot missed.
I like that. Been thinking the same thing myself.
My dude. One of those mercenary buddies of his could have done it. They got guns. Training. Years of... Tell you what I'd do. Check out the coast for vantage points. Maybe consult with a ballistics buddy of mine. That's what I'd do. If I wasn't too...
He's calm now. Threw all that turmoil away and became himself. These theories, not bad. Don't buy either one, but still, this guy's not as dumb as he looks.
In a manner of speaking.
Remember the 2 girls? He may be talking about the other one.
That's right. It was her idea to hang him. I liked it for political reasons. It sent a good message.
The big guy turns to Glenn, who's about to say something. The blonde shuts his mouth before...
I'll say it again. All the Hardy Boys are right here, cop. That woman is just affiliated with the Hardy Boys. You don't know her, anyway. Nope. You're not getting to her. It's Clausia you want to talk to. You do that. Hey, cop. Before you go, She, Clausia, came to Martinez to hide. Many of us did. This is where you wash up when there's nowhere left to go. The Union takes you in. Now, she refused that protection, but that's right. If we didn't take care of the people who end up here, this place would just be a...
We'll take that into account.
The man is decomposing visibly. The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath. Your arms reach out and your eyes close, as if by their own volition. It's dark all around. You feel his face, his cheeks, his nose, his fat, swollen lips, like a spider. The oral cavity is cold and moist. A ball-like tongue attaches itself to the base of the mouth, lolling around like a scallop. The tongue moves freely in the cavity. The mucus of the mouth is slippery, delicate to touch. Can you feel it? You're so close. Rip his jaws open now. A vision of black and dark red death, pried open by your naked hands and studded with teeth. Looks like he's laughing. You see a hole, barely visible to the human eye. It is swollen shut, almost vanished. No larger than 0.4 centimeters in radius, the edges appear darkened. An abrasion collar. This is what we're after. A black trickle of liquid runs into his throat from the wound. Your index fits right in there. A tight tunnel of flesh opens up. Tissue damage.
The fuck is happening?
Ah, shit, see?
The basal ganglia feels clumpy. The bullet. This man will never sleep again. Never wake. Your fingers slide into the remains of his limbic system. There is no resistance. It's gelatinous. This is what he used to regulate his emotions with. The lieutenant answers with the sound of his pen on.
Fucking cavity, see?
Your fingers are all the way in now, reaching toward the inside of his skull. The cavity goes further. Your fingers reach toward his skull. His cerebral cortex feels like jelly. Sharp, serrated material. The edges cut right into your skin. This must be the... You pick the sharp metal bullet between your index and middle finger. With your face twisting from pain and concentration, all you need to do is just...
My pig's fucking got it!
What? What is it?
The inside of the head feels cold and smooth, like a glove. Sweat dripping down your brow with a plop. Your hand emerges from the mouth, covered in blood up to the wrist. Between your fingers, a small flower. A blossom made of lead.
Fucking beautiful!
A bullet.
The bullet falls in the bag, leaving a smattering of blood on the plastic.
A non-calibre. Rifle. Some kind of brittle alloy. Fractured on impact. Of course, you've earned it. We need to add an item to the injury list. Injury number 4. Oval entry wound with an abrasion collar. Soft palate, back of mouth. High velocity. Temporary cavity in brain tissue. Small exit wound on the occiput. How does that sound? Opinion, fatal injury. And one last thing. We should amend injury number 3, ligament mark. Treatment. It's obvious the Hardy Boys tampered with it. I had my doubts. There were no signs of a struggle on his hands. No claw marks on his neck.
His brow furrows while his eyes glaze over. The lieutenant looks regretful for not figuring this out before.
Yes, we should take a closer look at it. I am certain it has more.
This little thing could reveal much about the weapon that shot it.
We bag the corpse and carry him to the holding pen of my kinema. I can transport him to processing myself, but I will be gone for the rest of the day. Work on the case. Tend to personal matters. Try not to do anything too dangerous. An officer needs backup in a neighborhood like this. I'll leave that choice to you. And one more thing. Great work, detective.
After you bag the corpse, Lieutenant Kitsuragi will leave the party until tomorrow morning. You can do side tasks, and even the main case, but it might be more difficult. Plan his exit accordingly.
The bullet is safely sealed away in a plastic bag bearing the RCM stamp. Kim has filled out the label on the bag with the item number, case number, and date and location the bullet was found.
What? Well, if I was the bullet, which I'm not, I would say, find the weapon that shot me. If we find who owns it, we will have likely found who used it, possibly to kill. In conclusion, the more we know about this bullet of yours, the better.
The squashed bullet has some sharp edges where the jacket has split open. You wouldn't ordinarily have cause to handle jacketed bullets. The citizens' militia uses cast bullets only. Little pebbles of metal loaded from the muzzle, usually in a cartridge. The jacket of the bullet is made of a yellowish metal. It has blossomed out to reveal a dark grey core. The base of the bullet is close to 5 mm. You can just about make out a few striations near the base of the bullet. Little hairlines, linear. It feels standard. It's quite destroyed. Some of the fragments are still lost.
What can you say about the bullet so far? A jacketed bullet. Okay. It would have been shot from a military-grade breech-loading rifle, not from a muzzleloader like those typically found on the streets of Martinez.
Highly unusual. The people of Revachol haven't carried breech-loading weapons like this for nearly half a century.
Even the RCM uses ordinary unjacketed conical bullets. This is strange. Very strange. I like this, officer. Strange means unique. Unique means incriminating. We need to find the gun that shot it.
A rifle, revolutionary period. Your bullet looks to be an old 4.46 mm from the surplus left over from the turn of the... The 4.46 caliber was widely used with the Belmargrave rifle, a Revacholian manufacturer. The BM dominated the battlefields of the Incidentally, you have just such a rifle with you. The dusty old thing you found hidden in the basement below the commercial area. It's unusable, sadly. If it were... No, but Zeliger, a major firearm manufacturer, ended up with a surplus after the war. So there are still a lot of these old military rifles floating around. Usually antiques enthusiasts, guerrilla fighters in distant countries, a few lucky jamrock bangers. You're looking for the same thing you found in that hidden weapons cache, only in working order.
What are you thinking? Bullet? Okay, and? An antique. That makes sense. There can't be many breech-loading rifles floating around in Martinez or anywhere in Revachol. Sure, there's some arms trafficking, but the laws prohibiting the use of breech loaders we inherited from the monarchy. Some new RCM recruits get impatient with their muzzle loaders once they've trained with military-grade weapons, but they realize...
Prohibiting peacetime law enforcement to front-loaded rifles is a policy enforced by the Moralist International in all the nations of the Rial Belt.
Imagine if everyone, cops, citizens, had access to firearms that could shoot multiple rounds without pausing to reload. After the first shot, the second, third, and so on come much... But back to the investigation. Doesn't seem that likely, but we'll check out all possible leads. Next step, finding the gun itself. Okay, and? An antique. That makes sense. There can't be many breech-loading rifles. I have to hand it to the monarchs. It's quite admirable that some new RC
prohibiting peacetime law enforcement to
imagine if ever. But back to the investigation. Let's find out. Next step, finding the gun itself.
Six crumbling petals.
As I said, an Insulindian.
This flower is a spring flower, but it's a bit early for that, isn't it?
Maybe. Maybe not. We'll see.
The petals feel dry and fragile in your hand. Wait, have you noticed there's a war veteran playing a ball game on the plaza? You should ask him about the flowers. The bullet is still safely sealed away in a plastic bag, bare.
It is such a pleasure to see you again, officer. How may I head the citizens' militia on this fine day?
What do you want to know? Good.
Vigilance officer, what can this old carabinier do for you? I prefer the old name, Insulindian Lily. Girls brought them to young cadets when they entered service. Wearing them on your cap was supposed to bring good luck. It used to be. But the communards were fond of them too. Call them... You know what? No. They brought me misery, false hope, and disappointment.
But it wasn't the revolutionaries that sullied the ID for you, was it? She gave them to me too, and your jealous little...
She must be the woman from that picture. Jeanne-Marie again.
Enough! I can go over these matters in detail with you.
Maybells don't blossom yet, do they?
Maybe on some remote parts of the city they do. But I think you have to wait for at least a month.
It is such a pleasure to see you again, officer. How may I head the citizens' militia on this fine day? Sweet, sweet Jenny. Ask away, officer. Of course, officer. Memories?
That's one brutal motor carriage.
If I were a real skull now, I'd jack it, paint it in palm tree livery, then bottom light it, neon style.
A snazzy shit-ripped skullmobile like this would make a fine trophy. We could, like, hang fucking shrunken heads from the side mirrors. Cops' heads. Scary tribal shit.
Yeah, tribal shit. A cop carriage like this would have proper skull value.
While I appreciate the interest you take in my brutal motor carriage, I have to stop you right there.
It's just theoretical work, Copper. No basis in reality. Man.
Skulls. Now there's a strong organizational title.
I can tell you who we're not, cop. We're not snitches. Or...
Which is not to say that the skulls are bitches and... On the contrary.
The part of this presentation you want to take home with you, cop man, is...
Okay then, let's indulge in some intellectual exchange. These young men seem eager to share their beliefs.
You don't know? What kind of cop are you?
It's not a question. Don't get into it.
The Skulls are the most vicious gang of the Besmertne.
Besmertine, or the Besmati, the Immortals, are West River Sholian crime syndicates.
The nastiest bunch of psychos ever. Jacking carriages.
Possessing an infinite amount of fuck-all swagger, infamous for their non-verbal modus operandi.
If a skull spots you, he will pull out his dagger and stab you without saying a word.
The lieutenant's voice is as calm as usual, a testament to the violence in...
They usually occupy the burnt-out quarter in Jamrock, or you can find them loitering around.
I can't wait to become a skull. Bottom lights are wretched aggressive. Murder? Yeah, sure. We'll gladly tell you.
Also, he was hanged. He was hanged from a...
Yeah, I mean...
These punks don't know anything.
Hey! Stop right there! How does one... know...
Ah, this sounds like epistemology. A field so occupied by thought that it begins to question thought itself.
Exactly. How can one know shit?
What if it's art? Or just...
Maybe it's true. The hanged man is merely a prop in a performance. We are the audience, and the artist is hiding somewhere in the dark. No reply. The blonde rebel scratches his chin, deliberately not focusing his gaze on anything. He looks very
Oh yeah, Cindy's a right proper skull.
Yeah, a true artist of the future. Just like on...
By the way, if you see Cindy, give her our regards.
For all their nihilistic posturing, these young men are not lacking in youthful idealism.
Oh man, yeah. We're not fucking kids, man.
Be wary of the abyss.
Probably because of how non-verbal their mode of operation is going to be. It's a threat.
Whoa. Come on, man. We're just talking.
Yeah, no need to throw your...
You want to talk? Let's talk, boys. Ask them. The Union does their share of policing in Martinez, at least we're gangs.
Don't you worry about that.
Yeah, we are. We're not franchise skulls. Well, not yet. Once we get our name out there, we'll have a chance to join them. Because we can be just as psycho and vicious.
But in a non-threatening and definitely legal...
Right on, fuck. So what's happening? Mm-hmm. What about them? Well, first off, it's a statement and not necessarily something that characterizes me as a person, even though the word piss epitomizes the struggle taking place in the world. Things being defined as they seem, not as... Also, you've got to admit, it catches the eye. And since the Grand Piper is slowly but steadily moving towards basing the economy on it, attention, it is imperative that the medium itself convey the message. What I mean by this is, we are all...
It seems that the young man has a certain expertise in at least one field. Even...
Like I said before, many men keep searching for the one, for so-called true love, which is actually just...
I'm wondering if the poetics come with the jacket, or are they derived from some...
To catch a fish, you'll need to hurl the lure many times, and even then it isn't certain that you'll get anything. If you blow up the lake, though, you get more fish in a shorter time. And... for time is of the... Because when one fucks everything, he fucks nothing. And that, to me...
Hate to admit it, but in a weird way, is it a coincidence that here we have 2 badass jackets and 2 badass cops?
Yes? Leather jackets adorned with immature writing? The ideology they convey helps the boys justify poor choices in life and fashion. I'm not a fan. What are you implying? For what? The concept of getting dressed is familiar to me, but wearing jackets like these isn't appropriate for an RCM officer, unless he's deep undercover. Neither. Fine, if only to end this discussion. Theoretically, if I were a juvenile delinquent, if I were to already be down that path, I think peace is the stronger of the two. Seems about right, especially considering your heroic exit attempts.
That's an origin story for a dynamic duo right there.
So are we done here? Or... you don't need us around for your secret whisper party, do you? That ride is fucking lightning!
Hey, piss... Look who it is! Shrunken cophead material.
Hi, Ace Detective. Are you here for more books?
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
I don't believe it. I've never known those boys to have manners. They'll never be skulls, but their hearts are in the right place. Fat chance. But you can still do your part to revitalize the neighborhood.
She throws you a conspiratorial glance, then presses her finger to her.
Have you noticed the quiet? Every so often, you might hear a gunshot pierce the air somewhere in Jamrock. This place is a sepulchre. We'll paint it red. We bring the raucous. You bring the sirens.
I ain't no snitch.
Actually, there is a shortage of people who talk to it.
We weren't put on this earth to make your life pleasant, fucko.
Hi again, gendarme. Bye-bye, gendarme.
This window is pristine on the inside, unlike the one next.
Looks like it, yes.
Smooth as ice. Following your lead, the lieutenant leans in closer.
It's always good to see you.
Something in her demeanor has changed. She's tired, consigned to her fate, to being here with you and what's to come. She looks at the dried petals in your palm. Then, chipped white polish covers the nail. It's long and sharp, like a mini dagger. The petal crumbles on contact.
Pretty. Looks like a dried maybell. Is that the one you caught? Sambo style? Why was there a flower on the roof? I don't know, officer. Because of the wind? I understand.
Just like that. No resistance. Her shoulders are slouched, her feet long and straight.
I knew there was a chance you'd get them to tell you. It's what you do. You're the police. For what it's worth, I'm sorry for wasting your time.
This is good. Clear the air first, between you two. Is it? Something is off here. Shush, I can't hear what she's saying.
If you knew we would find out eventually, why did you waste our time?
Because of the Hardys. I couldn't just dispense with them. They were only trying to help me. Out of the shit I'd gotten into. You're right. There's more. You answer to the coalition government, and by extension, the moral intern.
Briefly glancing over her shoulder to the sea. As she's done, a grand expanse of water reaches over the bay and to the horizon, grey and pale violet in the morning light. The pale, the Muindi Isola, the Occident, and then Oranje, the old, old world.
You share a database with them. You send people to their courts. Just business, but bad business for some people in the moral intern. If I show up in your records, officer, they will find me.
What happens if they do?
They will kill me, sir. If you file my name, take me in for questioning, and, well, then I'm fucked. For nothing. This murder didn't have anything to do with me.
Fucked? People after her? Moral intern people? This isn't Oranese lit. Actually, this murder did have a little to do with her.
I did. I also had a side job selling insurance that I was really good at. Got picked up by a bank. Competitive intelligence, they called it. After that, I sort of, transitioned out of the whole culture scene. It's not nice, but it's not illegal. Not here in Ravachol, or even in Oranje.
What exactly did you...
Industrial espionage. I joined a business collective with the intention of betraying them. I did my job well enough to be asked to do it again, with a bigger company. The kind you really, really don't fuck with.
I need the names of the companies involved and who hired you.
The job was Lewsdoen County Savings Bank. They sound small, but they're part of the Lewis Scott conglomerate. That was the second job. The first was some printer company. As to who hired me for the job, I don't know. But they're after me too, along with Lou Scott and their friends in the MI. Once you're done in the competitive intelligence circuit, you don't have allies. You're radioactive.
Lowe's cap. These people engineer financial disasters in second world countries. The conglomerate also includes the Bank of Consecration, Airberg, and the popular Papalolo line of dairy products.
Yeah. Papa fucking Lolo wants to kill me. Sure. I'm not a war criminal, but it was bad. People lost their jobs. Good people, too, not just C-suite. A lot of people got hurt. But that's just more of my shit you shouldn't have to deal with. You're solving a murder. We were there. Together. In bed, I mean. Okay. He was in a kneeling position. He had just entered me. I was on my back, looking at him. I heard the window behind. I turned back to him. His eyes were looking through me, and his mouth was open. Dumb.
Her chest rises and falls with each word.
I knew he was dead. Before he fell down on top of me. He was heavy. I pushed him off and he fell to the floor. There. He only had his boots on. I bit the pillow, not to scream, then ran downstairs. I waited for the second shot to come. For me.
She's forgotten about her cigarette. The butt has burned right down to her fingernails.
Oh. So am I.
What time was this? When did it happen? It would help us.
11:30 to 12:15. I don't know the exact time.
It's okay. Were you inebriated?
Not as much as usual. He'd done a line, plus other things.
Wait. Titus said she was gurning her jaw off, much more than usual.
Oh, yeah. I did one of his lines, just to clear my head.
Did you hear or see the shooter in the course of this?
No. Nothing. I was trapped. I was stuck in my room downstairs. I got some clothes on and crawled back up. He was still on the floor, slouched. I couldn't be there with him anymore. So I ran down and out of my room, into the hallway, down the stairs. I knew there were... Sylvie was tending the bar. A lot of people were there. The Hardys were at the table in front of the stage. Ruby was there too. They were having such a good time. I sat down and they all welcomed me. I didn't even...
Ruby?
Ruby. You know, the leader.
The leader?
The Hardy Boys. Well, nominally, yes. Ruby's the one they go to when things happen, like things they need taken care of. Well, Ruby said let's talk upstairs. I showed her the room. I've known these people since December. They know my situation, that I can't leave a paper. She said she'd take care of this. It's what she does, you know, take care of things. I helped her get the body to the bathroom.
To produce lividity, matching a hanging?
Yes.
We completely missed the tampering. Looks like you got there in time. What was this, 20 minutes?
About 20, yes. Ruby explained it would make the blood... You know what he does. Ruby went outside to talk to Titus and the boys. I was just looking at Lely in the bathroom. I had to put his clothes back on. It took Ruby maybe half an hour to come back with Titus. I'd gotten him ready by then. They carried him out. I knew what they were going to do. Make it look like... Ruby said to wait here. She also said I wouldn't see her for a while. That we should lay low or something. So I don't know. I haven't seen her since.
We will need to take this question to the...
Interesting. Why did this Ruby go through so much trouble to hide something someone else did? Look into this later.
When he was shot? I may have. I don't know. I couldn't hear anything over the glass exploding. That's the first thing that went through my head when I heard the glass break. I thought they'd found me. They've killed him to punish me. All last week, I've tried not to talk to anyone or be seen with anyone so they wouldn't be hurt. I've come to understand, however, this is paranoia. What happened didn't have anything to do with me.
We can't go after Loose Cap. Not yet. There are other, saner leads.
I don't ask you to, Lieutenant. But there's one thing I know, it's that you'll get nothing from there. Because I'm an idiot.
Which is an indicator of truth. Idiot. She's nothing of the sort.
You have to understand, the people around here, no one was making the call, and he kept rotting.
Her jaw is clenched. Her throat moves. It takes...
He kept throwing stones at him for 3 days. I could hear the thud. Thud.
She definitely called the cops. That was task complete. It could not have been a lie. That is impossible.
Last week, Angus and Titus's brother, I think he's called Tibbs.
You should have another look at that window after this. Reconstruct the scene. It's right there. Yes, you see the glass sparkling out of the corner of your eye.
What? Why would I put myself through this insanity? Get myself caught? He wouldn't have died if it weren't for me. I know that. But I would never.
He was a serviceman. He must have had a gun lying around, close to her hand, a military weapon using. Now you guys suddenly have theories pouring out, when they're obviously just stabs in the dark.
I'm sad to hear that. They must have said it in some fit of frustration or under pressure. They couldn't have meant it. I've talked to them after it happened. No one has implicated me. I did not kill him to defend myself from rape. I told you before. That wasn't what happened.
True, sire. 'Tis true.
No. I specifically asked him not to carry firearms when he was with me. He only had his stupid armor. I don't know. His friends have rifles. Maybe those psychos did it. Coalition military have rifles. I'm not a munitions expert, and I did not shoot him. Like what?
She nods, silently. She does... He's thinking, are we done here? Or maybe you should take her to the station for safekeeping. She lied to you. No, that won't be necessary. Just leave her alone. She's multi-face. I'm beginning to doubt your judgment. Are you sure you're not sleeping on the post? You have to wake this one up with force if you want to continue pushing her.
Hello, officer. What brings you up here again?
Who? What? Dear God, you've been lied to. She could have killed her lover and lied to every... She probably didn't give you her real name either. Why would she? Arrest her immediately before she further entangles you in her web of lies.
There may be grounds here, at least for an extended detention.
A little whimper. The young woman hears you. She's looking around.
I did. What is this? I called your desk or whatever it is. The numbers... There was an older woman on the other end. It sounded like she was smoking.
That is the emergency's desk. Anyone could know that, sire, by looking around and calling.
What time did you make the call?
Thursday night. It was late, sometime after...
It checks out.
But I know the time of the call, too. I know I have not been 100% truthful with you, officers. But I am now.
I agree. You wouldn't give us your real name, not when people are after you.
Okay. Okay, it's not. You log your work every week. It's all transmitted to Common, sir. I couldn't just beg you not to enter my name. Like I lied before. Like I did at LCSB. I have to lie all the time. I'm so tired of it. No. It's submerged in a plastic buoy on the coast, in the reeds. It just doesn't say Clausia Amandu. It says Anouk Mea Smith.
Falsified documents?
Passport and visa. Given to me by my employer. I can't even use them. My employer probably leaked.
Why would they do that?
I didn't show up to a rendezvous. They don't take that lightly. I didn't show up because I was afraid they'd do something to me. The job was finished. I'm just a liability now. West of the boardwalk, in the reeds, on the coast there. I put it there when I first arrived. Haven't been there since. I'm not sure I could even find it now. It's useless.
The lieutenant makes a note of it.
You're welcome to it. It's in the reeds northwest of here, past the Bergen sewage pipe, right near the waterline. It's Katarzyna Lazie.
It's a Grad name, Jimsk or Yugo-Grad in origin, not Occidental at all. Smells of motor oil, tiger, economic. It also makes Clausia almost an alacronym for Katarzyna Alazia.
My parents were Zhimsk immigrants, but I'm nationalized Oranese. All I remember is Oranie. Alasia is my father's name.
She nods. Her round eyes meet yours. They seem moist from the wind on the roof.
I am. They can never take my sash and my scepter from me.
Yes, they can, for lying. She nods, her back straight, ready for whatever is next.
What?
Her hand trembles. She's only pretending she didn't hear you say, devil woman.
But I haven't done anything. Anything illegal.
She purposefully misrepresented information crucial to the case. Fucking mind games. Enough. That's right, gang. Stern and merciless now. Stern and merciless as we reel her in. The lieutenant produces a pair of handcuffs.
Please, no.
But there's nowhere to go. A 2-story drop to the Plaza Mosaic. If she could...
I think I know who did it. Who shot Lely. I can tell you. I can help you.
She's silent for a second, as if looking into herself.
Ruby.
She has this thing for me, ever since I met her and the boys downstairs. She's been pretty frank about what she wants.
Sex. And more. I made the mistake of confiding in her. I told her I was on the run. When I started spending time with Lely, she told me to end it. Said there would be shit if I didn't. It was not a good meeting.
I don't understand. What exactly in your relationship made you think she's romantically interested?
She said she's in love with me. She even asked me to run away with her when I told her I'm a fugitive. She started...
And you led her on?
A little. I was flattered, you know? But then I had to let her off, and it was not easy. I came to regret being friendly with her. We maybe kissed, nothing more.
This is just an assumption.
I know what it sounds like. That's why I didn't want to tell you before. Somehow, she knew Lely was dead. She wasn't surprised at all. When we came up here, she was calm.
This is a familiar theory. You had it too, remember? Could it be that Ruby was covering up after herself? The lynching?
She came over one night, drunk, said she'd turn my life into a living hell. And she's a pro. She must be. To keep the Hardys in line. I tried severing ties with her after that. I thought it had...
Some of that fear is still with her. What are you talking about? She's afraid you'll arrest her.
She could have had access to the roof. You've noticed that door there, right? Maybe it leads downstairs. She could have come to the roof through that, then taken the shot right here, where I stand.
Then slipped back downstairs without anyone noticing. That is possible.
Interesting theory. Did she know that door exists? Had you been out there with her?
Yes, of course. She's been up here many times, jacking private stations off the ring antenna. She used to come here to drink on the roof with me, before it got weird.
Okay, and what? Arrest the liar now. She's stuck here. She's already in prison. Look around. She's only trying to help you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Something tells you, you will. She nods, then nervously pulls on her cigarette.
Okay.
She slowly lights another cigarette. You are. This is not the end of this.
Lies.
Yes, we demand she be punished for deceiving us. We demand her anxiety. We demand her fear. She nods, then nervously pulls.
Okay.
She slowly lights another cigarette and steadies her breath, as if in the presence of some tiger.
Yeah? All right. Yeah? I have no idea, officer. All right.
The same small, heavy door. No lock in sight. Holding the gun feels natural and satisfying. It's like an extension of your arm. The polished wooden handle almost it reminds you of the day you first held it, with fear and respect, hoping you don't have to use it in vain. The sun was out in Jamrock. Sheathe your sidearm, officer. A serious law official, cop by the book, should know. The same small, heavy door. No lock in sight.
I don't know, Lieutenant Yefreiter. It is not the first closed door we found. I don't know. The further we get, the more the vigilantes, the cadaver, and a number of people connected to the case are in or around this building. This door is part of it. It's not unimportant.
There's nothing else to do with...
Yes?
There's nothing else to do with the traps.
Hello. Isn't this a fine morning? Sure. What's on your mind? But of course. What else? I do have some money.
No, I mean, come on.
Oh no, I don't have it on. I'm just spending time with my kid here, showing him around.
Not that he would have to worry about being robbed. He looks surprisingly buff. Does he work out? There's nothing else to do with the trap. The scruffy-haired little boy kicks a stone while the other watches him do it.
Yes. Yes.
It doesn't look like he knows what that means. The stone-kicking one.
He looks just like me.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist? Hold on, officer. I've got Central Jamrock Public Library on the line, and I've already...
Yes, this is Central Jamrock Public Library here. How can I help you, officer? Billy Majon, you said. Give me a moment, I'll have to check up... Yes, hello, are you still there? I found Billy Majon's home address. Is that all right? No phone number.
They're too poor to have a phone line.
Here we go, sir. Rue de Saint-Ghislain, 33B, apartment number 20. It's in my...
That's where the smoker on the balcony lives, isn't it?
It says here that they returned their last book just a few days ago. But I wasn't at work that day. Marie? Marie? Do you remember a reader named Billy Majon? They returned... Yes, it was my colleague, Marie. She said that it was Billy's husband who returned the book. He also asked for this new sci-fi release, Lowe's Radio...
Good. You have a name now.
Marie knows Billy. She's been working here longer than me. Sometimes her husband returns some books for her. Sorry, no. Marie only knows him by sight. Marie? She said it was an older man, and that she's pretty sure he'd had a drink or two. 1 second. Sorry, Marie wasn't really paying any attention to that. Happy we could help. Goodbye, officer.
Anything else you need from me? 57th, over and out.
In the cabin, you see a set of steering levers, a radio. weathered brown door. The number reads, something smells good. Soup allons. The lieutenant motions to you to go ahead and knock.
You're right. Let's talk this through.
You hear some light footsteps and...
We have our first preliminary identification. In all likelihood, the deceased is the husband of Billy Méjean. Now, delivering a death notification is never an easy task. There's a reason why it's often called the most stressful part of our job. This is why it's usually done in pairs. You got this. I'll be monitoring reactions. Ready? Dead? Just don't say that you know how they feel. You don't. Yes, it's hard. But there is no easy way to handle this information. It just has to happen, as soon as possible.
The lieutenant motions towards the door.
Hello? Who is it?
And someone turns down the radio.
The police. A moment, please give us a moment.
Tidying up.
Come in, the door is open. It's you from the bookstand. I don't think I introduced myself properly. I'm Billy. Would you like something?
The lieutenant has taken off his foggy glasses and is busy cleaning them in condensation from stepping inside.
It's you from the bookstand. I don't think I introduced...
The lieutenant has taken off his condensation from stepping inside.
Is this about Victor, my husband? Is he in some kind of trouble again? No. This is something much worse. Is he in a hospital?
How about some small talk before you break the news? She looks up, too anxious to say anything. You've done this before. Just keep your focus.
What did you say? Oh. Oh. But he was just...
But he was just here.
We understand this comes as a huge shock. I want you to know that me and my partner are here for you.
What happened to him? Was he drunk? I see. And you just found him there. How long had he been there?
If you say 2 days maybe, it will be etched in her mind forever. She blinks, eyes welling up with tears. At the handkerchief.
Yes, thank you.
Is there anyone we could call for you? A friend?
No. I just need to tell my girls.
Unreal.
God, should I call them? Should I tell them to come home?
No. A day.
Good. That's probably the right thing. Thank you. Just tell me, what do I need to do next?
We've taken him to the city morgue. The local coroner will be contacting you shortly to arrange the funeral. Here's his number in case you want to
A very good call.
Is there anything else that the RCA...
No, I'll call you if something comes up. I'm still... Thank you. Thank you for telling me.
We should step outside and talk. You did well. I'll call the station when we're finished with the day, and let them know the name of the deceased. That's it. We should get back to our case now that our duty here is done. Let's go.
Rigorous self-critique. Here it is. Hard facts from the man you are. You once jerked off in the locker room and were caught. You held a young woman by the arm and kept her.
Give me a moment. Ask away, policeman.
She mumbles some kind of a... The door is closed again. You hear someone inside, walking from room to room. The man is decomposing visibly. The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath. The man is decomposed. The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath.
I'm gone. Into the wild pale yonder. In the past. Way out in the west. I'm a joke. Look at me. There is nothing funny about Joe. A killer. A Go ahead, Cobbo. What do you mean? It's the power of your magic. Go ahead. Ask me more questions. Because you're a copperoonie. Look at all of them go. Here you go, you loony. Fuck no. You're no Rooney. No, you're not a Harry either. You're a motherfucker. That's who you are.
Rooney the mother, because you have. Do I remind you of someone?
A child born with Muller's disease, harlequinism, grown up miraculously.
You sure we got out of that one? Coppellini. Come back later, Coppo. Amuse yourself with my frank manners and my memento mori features. If possible, also, see me in your dream. Shoot, Looney Rooney. Come back later, Cop.
All right. I will need a little help carrying him. You take the hands, I'll take the leg.
The tear machine stands in the corner. Your bottles clunk into the machine. A small cabinet on the wall is filled with various medicine bottles.
Is this about the questions again? Because I don't really know anything. A warehouse? I don't know. Maybe. I don't really care what for.
She scrunches up her face into an...
Fine. For it doesn't have a warehouse. Just a little back room here. Okay? I don't really know anything. I mean, I know it's... Uh-huh.
To the left of the croissants and juice bottles, several